We are living through an important moment in our country's history.
Reaching a deal with the European Union is not only by far and away the most likely outcome, it's also the best outcome for our country.
We have agreed that the EU and the UK will negotiate continuously.
I'm confident we can reach the agreement in October.
It's something the UK and the EU have been working hard to avoid, but fears of a no-deal Brexit persist. On Thursday, London will publish technical notices advising businesses and citizens on what they need to do to prepare for such a scenario. A no-deal could be potentially catastrophic for both Britain and the European Union. When we talk about a no-deal scenario, what does that actually mean?
Well, there is no deal, which means no agreement whatsoever on anything, and there is no deal light, whereby both sides would then try to agree to make sure the planes can continue to fly, for example, by having multilateral deals on this. I think there will be a deal, simply because the consequences of no deal are too big. There may be 1.2 million job losses in the EU 27 as a result of no deal, and 500,000 in the UK, so nobody wants that.
The border with Northern Ireland remains a stumbling block. Ireland is planning for a no-deal impact across the country, but implementing change wouldn't happen overnight.
In Ireland, the country is planning to hire around 1,000 new officials, and the Prime Minister, Varadkar, has admitted that there's no way it's going to be possible to have all these people in place by March.
Ports on both sides of the Channel would also be hit by a no-deal. Places like Rotterdam and Zeebrugge and Dover, where there are fears queues of goods could get snarled up.
At the end of the day, the UK government can, of course, decide to unilaterally waive all requirements and just let goods enter the country. So perhaps the bigger concern would be British exports and the export and import of car parts. Big manufacturers, they import and export parts all the time between different countries, so their supply chains would be severely disrupted in case you would need all these extra checks.
The UK's Brexit Secretary Dominic Raab needs to try and seal an agreement with Brussels, ready for an EU summit in October, widely seen as a make-or-break moment.
Britain regaining its trade policy will allow the UK to open up trade more, and ultimately this is also a good thing for the EU. But I think it will be a long time before we can have a proper judgment on whether Brexit was a good thing or not.